Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today is the last video for my channel in 2022. Thank you to everyone who subscribed to the channel this year and has been leaving comments and engaging with me and watching the videos and sharing them. All that good stuff. I really do appreciate it. Really big shout out to all the new patrons, all the old patrons. Thank you guys for helping support the channel. I really do appreciate that as well. So for the last video of the year on my channel, I wanted to do a kind of recap and rating of all the boys love series I've seen in the year 2022. Now, there are some shows that I did watch in 2022 that started in 2021. So we won't count those here because they weren't the ones that started in the year that they ended in. But I did do a video similar to this one earlier in the year. I want to say, I feel like it was still cold. So it might have been like February, it could have been March, it could have been the summertime. I don't remember when I did the video, but I did a 3-part rating all the Boys Love series I've seen. This video will be very similar to that, but I'm just doing the ones from 2022. And I don't remember the rating system, if I did out of 10 or out of 5. But for this video, I'm going to do out of 5, which I think I did in the last one, but I can't remember. But this video will be out of 5. So 5 being the highest on the list. So sorry about that. And then 1 being the lowest score on the list. So I'm excited. There's not many shows I've seen in 2022. Now, some shows that are not on this list is because they started in 2022 in December or November, and they're still going. So we won't count those, obviously, because they're not done yet. But there's still a good amount of shows I've seen. I really want to get into these shows and give my opinions on it. But I want you guys to also give me a rating on all the shows you've seen on this particular list. And let me know why. Let me know why you gave the score you did. Give me the pros and cons you feel the show has, if you feel compelled to. I know it's kind of like a lengthy comment, but I would greatly appreciate it. I want to really kiki with you guys in that aspect. Also, if you haven't done so, please join my Discord. I'm on there regularly talking to the subscribers. We're talking about shows and our daily lives, getting to know each other. So if you want to have a little community, you guys can come over to the Discord. It'll be linked below. I know I've linked in the past, but that link was like for a limited time. That's why not everyone became a part of the Discord. But this one will be forever and always. You can become a part of it now. So, with all that being said, let's get into these series. First on our list, we have a Semantic Error. So, for this show, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. It is slightly cliche-ish. I mean, they're all cliche, but what I mean is that the our two characters, one character is kind of not antagonizing the other, but he's kind of like upset at him, so he's like trying to bully him a little bit, kind of getting revenge, but he has a reason to. So I like the fact he had a reason to. I think the actors have really amazing chemistry. The cinematography is really great. Their dynamic with each other is so interesting to me. One being more introverted and kind of standoffish, one being more of a social butterfly. I like that dynamic, and then I like the integration of the other characters in their lives. Is very well done. I do recommend this series to anyone who wants to get into this genre. This may be a good starting point, in my opinion. I do wish they had a little bit more going on with the characters, a little bit more, maybe some side stories. Like if they had like a B plot, a B situation, I would like it a bit more to be a 5. But I just think that it's just, I mean, it's still good. It's still good despite that. It's still good. The episode length isn't long. The episode count isn't long, so you can get through it pretty quickly. And I think it's a good show. So 4 out of 5 for Semantic Error. Next we have is Choco Milkshake. Let's see. Choco Milkshake, I'm going to give it. I'm also going to give it 4 out of 5 stars. There is very little plot to speak of in this show. However, I find the characters very likable. I find the locations nice. Even though there's not many locations, you can tell that the budget's very low on this show, or it's not. They don't have the expenses to take on big set pieces and whatnot. But despite that, I really enjoy it. Like I think the actors acting was really good. Like I haven't seen any of these actors in any other things besides this. I know that the one guy is an idol, but you know, I think that's different than being an actor, being a K-pop idol. There's acting elements to being an idol because of music videos and whatnot, and you have to like put on a show for like variety shows and like However, I haven't seen anyone in any type of acting role, and then they really did a good job. They really did a good job, and I love the cinematography, the filming techniques that were implemented in the show. So good. Now it does suffer from not having a really strong plot line. Lots of episodes seem kind of fillery, but you don't mind that. The character's so likable, and you're trying to see what's going to happen next. So it's kind of like it's fine, and it's very character driven. Our main lead. I wish he was more because he's like going through a depression and he's getting out of it as he spends times with these other characters that come into back into his life as pets. So you get to see that, but I wish it was more obvious. I wish each episode kind of showed him getting over a block each time. That would have made that would have made the show narratively stronger if they had each episode he learns to do something he used to. He finds the love into things he used to do, places he used to go to, people he used to interact with. That'll make the show narratively a bit stronger, in my opinion. But despite all that, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. It was such a good time. I really want this company to make more dramas in the same vein or in the same realm. Not the same universe. They could. They could do like spinoffs, but like in the same, I want this company to just do more. And I want these actors to do more. And they did a great job. I really, just thought it was so good. Next we have is Blooming. This show gets a 5 out of 5 in my book. I really, really love this show. It is so dramatic. It is so well done. I know people were saying, like my peer, Jordy, was saying his friends said it was boring or whatever the case may be. Sure, maybe it can be boring. I'm not here to argue that. I just think that like our main lead overcoming his insecurities with one, how he felt about his weight when he was younger, two, the fact that his father left the family, and those two things being the reason why he is made fun of and bullied, and he's all about appearances. He's making sure he keeps the weight off. He's making sure no one knows about his like family life. Like he's trying to build a wall and be perceived differently than he was. I think that makes the character so interesting. And both of those things come to a head later on. He has to confront his father at one point, and he makes a short film. He's a filmmaker, which I like that we got to know his goals in life. Like he wants to make films, and we see him doing that in the school program, and like his love interest trying to help him out, even though he's takes advantage of his nepotism to help his man out, which he doesn't like because it's like you're only dating him, or you got the role, you got the scholarship. I forgot he had a scholar, he got something from his love interest's mom because that's his mom, and he's like, Mom, help him out. You know what I mean? So like it's more layers to it. I just like that, and like I said before, he faces his insecurities with someone tried to like leak a photo of him when he was younger to make fun of him, even though like he was like in middle school then. Now he's in college. Like, why are you the villain of the show? He's corny. Like his character. He's a corny person. Ugh. And then the fact that he highlighted the fact that his father left his mother in his film was also intense, and the mom had a reaction to it. She was going through it. Like it was his family dynamic. It was a lot going on. I just loved it so much. And then the relationship building up, and they really like each other, even though they butt heads a few times. You can tell they still like each other. They apologize. They explain why they felt the way they felt. Like it's a rotating thing with that. And I love that. It's very more mature in that way, very more grounded, and it makes the characters more real, despite maybe they have a lapse in judgment, but you understand why they did that, and they understand why they don't want to do that again, or they explain why they did it, and like it makes it a better. I wish more shows were like this. The characters are more fleshed out, more just real, and really you want to root for them despite the flaws. You want to root for them, and you see the goodness in them. You can see the change. You can see. I just loved it so much. I really recommend this show. I can't recommend it enough. I think anyone, especially if you're an older individual, maybe if you were younger, this is not your cup of tea. The characters are in college, they're a bit older, and our main character's life is more focused in the romance. So you may be like, I really want the boys' love to be the focus. This may not be for you, but it is there. So I recommend it. Next we have is Oh My Boarding House. I'm gonna give this one a 3 out of 5. I enjoy the show. It is a bit cheap looking and the narrative is a bit weak. However, there's so many likable characters. There's two like plot lines going on with the characters in the show. Um, I just think that with a bigger budget and a stronger story, this could have been a 5 out of 5. But despite that, I still kind of enjoyed it. Now, do I recommend it? Possibly. Maybe as your first outing, like a first, like you're watching these shows for the first time, I wouldn't recommend this because it might turn you off because it's not, the production value is low, but it's not, since it does have two different storylines happening at the same time with the other members of the house and everything, I feel like anyone can get into it because most shows have multiple plot lines per episode, per series. So this is something more familiar, but like like our main characters, they're not fleshed out enough, and for my opinion, so you may not connect with them that much. I don't even connect with them that much, but I am kind of rooting for them. I do find them likable, and despite them not having much going on with them, their love story is endearing, and I just liked it. You know what I mean? Like it was such a good time. It wasn't too, I didn't take it too seriously. It was kind of goofy at times, but like it wasn't like too goofy that you're like, oh god, like it's too juvenile. Like it was the right amount of goof, and I think I like it. I wouldn't say go out to watch it. Like you have to watch this, but also it wouldn't be bad to put this on your list. Maybe a little bit later down the line when you're like used to the genre itself, then you can go this and be like, okay, it's for what it is, it's fine, which it is, just fine. Next we have is The Eclipse. I'm gonna give The Eclipse. Mm, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. I think the setting and cinematography is really good. I think the acting is very good. I just did not care for the story. We stopped the storyline that was presented to us multiple times to be a boys' love situation where they just kind of spend time with their characters, flirting, arguing, getting together, not being together. It's all over the place, and like MMTV shows do that a lot, where they have a premise and situation that seems somewhat urgent, like something's going on, there's a mystery, there's something we're trying to get overcome. They halt it multiple times in episodes and scenes where they're not doing much. Like the plot with the whole like find out what happened to his uncle, we don't progress that for like several episodes. It's a whole lot of nothing happening back to back to back to back, which is so odd. Or things that we've seen in previous episode happen again, rinse and repeat per episode. So despite it looking very good and the acting is very well done, the storyline is just non-existent at times, and it's a bummer. Because I was really excited for this show. I like these actors in this show. It's just the plot line. The plot line to me suffered a lot. It suffered a lot. I really want to enjoy this more than I did, and I did. I love the last 2 episodes, and I think like the first one, but everything in between, a low score for me. There were some scenes, yes, between the first episode and the last ones that I do like. However, they're just scenes. They're not entire episodes. It was a slog to get through this because a lot was not happening way too often for my taste. So it's a 3 out of 5 for me. Next we have is Vice Versa. It has the same problem as Eclipse, and I'm gonna give this one a lower score with a 2 because I felt myself being immensely frustrated with the lack of plot, especially in the first 4 episodes. Like the first episode set everything up, and then we did a whole bunch of nothing, back to back to back. And then like I know we had like they're doing like that film with the film students and stuff, but we don't get the point of view for those characters. So like it's hard for me to care because we get the point of view of our main leads, and they are just on borrowed time. It seems how it's set up. Like they're trying to get back to their own world. So like them ingraining themselves into this world when they're gonna leave, and we're not getting the point of view of the other characters who are staying there, makes it harder to care, in my opinion. Yes, yes, the characters' chemistry, it is there. These two characters' chemistry is there, and visually, it's nice to see them together, but it's not enough to have, conveniently attractive individuals flirt with each other for a bunch of episodes. Like if if you were younger, this would be a show you probably would live for. Like if you started this show at age 14, 15. Not saying you can't enjoy this as an older, as an adult, because a lot of adults I know who watch this really like it. I just think that because it's a lot of fluff more often than not, it's harder to really. It feels like it's slogging along, and I feel like it was slogging along. It was shot very good, so I'm giving it points for that. And like, there's this theme of different colors meaning different things each episode, but it's not enough. I also was rooting for this show as well, but it did nothing for me, and I don't see myself going back to this. And I don't even recommend it either. I don't recommend someone going to watch this because it. Next we have is Cutie Pie. I'm gonna give Cutie Pie a 2 out of 5. Um, it it was all style, no substance. Like the characters are making out, and visually look very nice. Their hair is done, the outfits look nice, and I think the acting is pretty competent. I don't think it's bad acting. It's just I think there's a lot of talking in circles that happens in this show. I remember this one scene in episode 4, I think. I think it's episode 4 where he enters his room and he's like, "You're gonna live with me." He's like, "No, I'm not living with you," and that goes on for 16 minutes. This happens a lot. A little back and forth, lots of scenes that don't add anything to a storyline, and that's unfortunate in my opinion. Because like I'm rooting for like the Mundy boys universe. I'm really wanting them to like because we got GMTV being the company that has like their actors in multiple shows and doing multiple things, different pairs, different situations, and it'd be cool to have another company doing that. And that's the route they're going, especially with the new trailers I saw, the teaser trailers. All these actors are returning for different roles in different shows. So like I like the fact that they're doing that, but because of that, they're relying heavily on the actors being paired up with their with their characters in different stuff. The actors paired up again as different characters, different stuff to draw people in, and that it is working, I guess. But I don't find that to be a good draw. I just wish we had a stronger storyline and we have them sticking to the story. Like, I'm not saying get rid of the romance. I'm just saying let it happen as we do other things. That can be, we can go back and forth. And this show just didn't do that enough for me. It just slogged along. I just can't. And I don't recommend this one. Next we have is Enchante. I'm gonna give Enchante a 1 out of 5. I really dislike this show with a burning passion. Mm-hmm. Yep, I really did. I mean, I've done several videos on this show you see on my channel, so I'm not going to go deep into details why, because I've done this a few times. However, just our unlikable main character is enough to be like, I don't like this. And then the storyline, everything about this, I didn't care about. Find out who Enchante was. They didn't try to do that too often. Even the love interest was like, "Yo, can we just stop this? It doesn't matter." And it didn't matter in the end. Our main character, spoiler alert, is the bad guy of the show. He is the reason things happen, and he acted so dumb, and he has put this boy through this whole thing for him to be like, "Yeah, I did it. Yell at me," but he ended up getting rewarded with him. His character gets what he wants when he wants it. He has a temper tantrum if he doesn't, and people just give in to him. And it happened throughout the whole show. He is so unlikable. I'm not rooting for him. I think Ak deserves better. It just was not. But like I said, I have other videos on my channel if you guys want to see a deeper explanation why I don't like this show. You can go see those videos. But 1 out of 5 for Enchante. My Secret Love. We're gonna give this one a 5 out of 5. I thoroughly enjoy this show with a burning passion. I like the characters had. We had multiple love stories happening in this show. Lots of different characters got their point of view. We know about the thing about it is though, it didn't focus on just romantic relationships. We have friendships tested. We have a reason for the characters not to like each other, a reason for the characters to like each other. We got it was so good, y'all. This is one I could recommend you start with if you want like a slice of life kind of show set in a school setting. This would be the one I would recommend. Yep, I would recommend it. Like the characters are fleshed out way more than they probably should be in a show like this. Like I don't know much about this company or whatever the case may be, but they really did a good job with the writing of the characters and the storyline. I thoroughly enjoyed it so much, so much. Now, you may think it might be kind of boring at times, but all these shows are boring at any given time. But this one, I found everybody likable. Now our last pair, they got on my nerves the most, but I still like them in some capacity. And our other leads, Chef's Kiss, Chef's Kiss. I oh my gosh, I really love the show. I really love this show, y'all. It was so good. Next we have is Sky in Your Heart. This gets a 2 out of 5. Cinematography is great. Locations are great. The storyline is non-existent. I just didn't like it. We was wasting time doing a bunch of nothing more often than not. I did react to it on the channel. If you guys want to see, I guess more in-depth thoughts as I watched it, but I did not enjoy this. We just did a bunch of nothing, and it was just so much to get through this. So much to get through it. It was the runtime is way too long for us to like if the runtime was shorter, I probably like this a bit more. But they just oh my gosh, and I like the characters. It didn't do it for me. Star in My Mind, also 2 out of 5. It's the prequel to this, the Sky in Your Heart. Again, very unlikable characters, no plot. I just so frustrating, guys. I really want to like this one because Jung's in it because he was, Two Moons alumni doing things. I'm rooting for him. However, this show was not a good outing in my opinion. It just was too goddamn fluffy, too convoluted at times. Sometimes it didn't make any sense. Characters are acting unrealistically too much. I did not enjoy this at all. It's Next we have is Unforgotten Night. I'm gonna give this a 3 out of 5. It is an awful show. I'm not gonna deny that. Cinematography, crunchy, audio, crunchy. Locations were good. Styling was good. But the acting sometimes was kind of crunchy. However, I do think it's awful. However, it was entertaining. I know. I didn't say all these things, but like it was entertaining. But I still think it's awful. Like I wouldn't recommend it. Even though I had a good time watching. It was so bad it was good. That's what it is. It's so bad it was good that I was like, okay, hey. But like outside of that, like it's objectively a bad show. However, it just spoke to me and in a way where I didn't think it was going to. It was so awful, but I was just like, oh my god, it's such a fun time. Next, we have a Self the series. I'm gonna give this 4 out of 5. This is very well done in my opinion. This may not be for everyone because it may not be heavy on the romance of it all, but it's still there. So like, come on. And it was kind of triggering because of the dramatic stuff that happens, lots of sad stuff that happens. But I really like the characters. I like the journey they went on, the nuances of that. It seemed very like a short film. The way it's shot, the way it's edited, the way it's everything about it seemed like a short film. I love that. I love that so much. Even though clearly the budget wasn't really high, the actors did a very good job, and it was just such a real, raw kind of show that I do recommend this one. I really do. I really enjoyed it. I watched it twice. I reacted on my own, and I also reacted with Jordy and Alyssa. I really 4 out of 5. It's a good show. Last on my list is KINNPORSCHE. Okay, so KINNPORSCHE, in my opinion, I forgot what I said last time when I don't know if this was in my rating video because it was still out. I don't know. KINNPORSCHE gets a 3 out of 5. The setting, spectacular. The styling, spectacular. Cinematography, so good. The actors did a great job. I think the tone of the show is a miss for me. This show has several comedic points in any given episode that takes me out of it because it's like a crime thriller situation and a romance at the same time, but we stop a lot to be comedic, and the comedic stuff adds nothing to the story. It slows it down. Like it pads the runtime with all the comedic stuff. Like there's one scene infamously that I really hate it when they get lost in the woods and they're trying to like see which way to go. It's so goddamn goofy and it lasts like about 10 minutes, I believe. It really turned me off. There's lots of times with the brother. One of the brothers, I forgot his name. Kim, and starts with T. I forgot his name, but he is a comedic relief of the show. And when the show is lighthearted, I like it. There's lots of scenes that are more lighthearted than comedic, and I like those ones way more than the comedic ones because those at least fit the tone of the show. Because there are some lighthearted moments that make the characters feel more real and more grounded, despite the dire situation they might be in. But the comedic scenes really take me out because I'm like, this is a different type of show. It's him like wabi sabi himself with the spice and like him like setting the thing off and like it was way too goofy and like I find myself liking the last two episodes the most and only I don't like the other episodes honestly. There's some scenes in each of the episodes I can get behind. True, that is true, but the full episodes I'm like, oh my gosh, we are doing nothing and like yes, they are busting down and people love the bust down scenes and the bust down scenes were filmed very well. I'll give you that. Like it was chef's kiss of the bust down scenes, and even the action scenes were very good, and I really like those. And I love the fact we got point of view of different characters, which is I always champion that. Let's get point of views of different characters. Let's follow different character stories. I love that. However, the comedic stuff really brought it down for me. So that's my score. And that is the end, y'all. That's the end of all the shows I've seen in 2022. I know this video may come off a bit negative because there are lots of shows I just didn't care for. But there's some I really, really liked, and I can't wait to see what happens in 2023. I'm actually going to be reacting to more shows that came out this year, some Korean dramas on my Patreon page. If you want to help support the channel and watch extra content, it's on there. I'm doing Oh My Assistant, and today I'm doing The New Employee. I can't wait to get to that. I'm actually going to react to that after this. It's a Korean drama. And I'm doing something else. There's another show I want to start, but I can't remember. Oh, History 5. I'm like, I know it's another show. I'm gonna do History 5 as well. I'm not sure if I'm gonna react to it. I'm just gonna like watch it and then do a review at the end. I will see. But anyways, let me know your thoughts and opinions on all these shows below. For the ones I didn't go in detail with, like I said, I've done videos on these shows before, like Enchante and all the other shows that I didn't go in detail because I've done videos on them already. They're on my channel. Go check them out. And yeah, let me know your thoughts below. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the new year.